Is an earnest money deposit really non-refundable if my contract says so? In theory, your earnest money deposit is not refundable if the contract stipulates it. But that's not the whole story. I say in theory simply because getting the earnest money deposit released from the closing agent or attorney is not as simple as asking for it. The closing agent attorney will be at least reluctant to release it to you without a signed cancellation and release document where the seller authorizes the release of the earnest money deposit. Unless the seller is happy to see you go away, there's no reason you should sign the cancellation and not get your earnest money deposit. Most Board of Realtor contracts call for a settlement by mediation, which takes time and money to complete, with no assurance of who will win. On the flip side, most made-at-home contracts simply call for the investor to get his earnest money deposit back if he doesn't close timely, or they make no mention of how the earnest money deposit will be returned. One reason for this is because the investor often simply never puts up his earnest money deposit for the purchase, which breaches the contract from the start and allows the seller the option to legally cancel his contract. From personal experience in hundreds of these contested earnest money deposit return of funds, over 90% are settled by negotiation, with the seller giving the investor buyer half of the earnest money deposit. If a realtor's involved, don't expect this easy way out because they're trained to go for earnest money deposits if the investor doesn't close. It doesn't matter if the investor didn't put up his earnest money deposit, he can still be held liable for it. You may believe you deserve your earnest money deposit refunded because of a justifiable issue with the seller, but your contract is what the court will default to if it comes to that. If you sue or mediate to get your earnest money deposit back, you will have legal fees to pay. So make sure your contract has clauses that address the potential earnest money deposit issue. This is not easy on realtor contracts, but it is possible by ensuring your inspection period is long enough to find an end buyer. If you have any additional questions, contact me directly at davedinkelquestions@gmail.com. If you need hard money instead of transactional funding, contact me for referrals to private hard money lenders. Be sure to check out besttransactionalfunding.com for all your same-day double closing needs, including a list of investor-friendly closing agents in various states. We have more 5-star Google ratings than all the other transactional funders combined.